What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of The 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to The 8 Below Show, the best gaming related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. We've talked on the YouTube channel about Mortal Kombat and this series, looking forward as to what the future may hold for this franchise. And I want to talk about Mortal Kombat 12, the highly anticipated game that, hasn't been 100% confirmed at this point, but I believe it's just a matter of time until we get an announcement. I want to talk about a very early top 5 things that we want in Mortal Kombat 12. And when I say we, guys, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions here. Some of those thoughts and opinions you may agree with, you may disagree with. Let me know either way in the comment section down below what you guys want to see in Mortal Kombat 12. So let's get into it. Coming in, guys, at number 1. This one's relatively obvious, but obviously we want new characters, arenas, combos, executions. All of those things are going to be very important when we're talking making this game feel different. There'll be a separation from, obviously, Mortal Kombat 11 to 12. I actually personally think that the 11th Mortal Kombat was the best one, in my opinion. I absolutely love the way that that game feels, how it's been consistently serviced at this point in time, continuous characters being added, and things of that nature. So I want to see new characters. I, of course, want to see existing characters already in the Mortal Kombat franchise, but I always think having new characters is very important. The same thing can be said for the arenas, where you're playing or where you're fighting, guys. Those are very important as well as, of course, combos and executions are pretty much two of the biggest things when it comes to a Mortal Kombat title. And so we want to see similarities, but we also want to see those differences, and that's what's going to make it really feel different from the other, Mortal Kombat games, and that's going to be really important moving into this title. At number 2, guys, this is one, personally, I have really actually enjoyed the campaigns of Mortal Kombat of the past, and I would really like to see an extended campaign here. Generally speaking, the Mortal Kombat campaign isn't technically a super long experience, and so what I'd like to see is more story here with Mortal Kombat 12. I think it's really important, guys, when we're talking about world building, when we're talking about continuing the legacy, the lore, the story of Mortal Kombat, I think it's going to be important to have an extended story, an extended campaign that we can play on our downtime from playing the multiplayer, which is what mostly everyone plays, is, those multiplayer experiences in Mortal Kombat. And look, up to this point, when we're talking about Mortal Kombat 12, you've had 11 other games before it, right? So obviously they've had a lot to be able to build up this franchise and such, but it's going to be really important, in my opinion, to extend the campaign and story into Mortal Kombat 12 for the next generation of gaming because of the new consoles coming out and things of that nature. You can really take advantage of the graphics and, just all of those things is going to be really important, I think, for Mortal Kombat 12. Coming in, guys, at number 3 for me, I want to see more co-op modes. Co-op, guys, is a big thing to me as well. I've always stated that every AAA title should have a full package. When I say full package, I mean a full campaign, co-op modes, and multiplayer modes. And so those are the 3 things that make a full package for a game. You don't really want to have one without the other, and because if you give up one thing, it's going to kind of either diminish or slowly, kind of decrease the size of like the fan base and such, because if you take away multiplayer from Mortal Kombat, you're going to lose a huge amount of that fan base that loves playing multiplayer. You take away the campaign, you're going to lose people to that. And so I think having all of these different ways you can connect with the franchise is the best way moving forward. So co-op, guys, playing with your friends is always a big deal. Whether you want to talk co-op missions, you want to talk about playing, against other people around the world in 2v2 combat, things of that nature could really, I believe, could kind of make an incredible experience as we move forward into, Mortal Kombat 12. I think that it could build upon what they've already started, what they do very well with the 1v1 type of style fight, but having that even, kind of go to the next level with 2v2 could be something really special. Coming in at number 4, I've stated this a lot of times, guys, and I've really felt that every game out there, if you're talking there's a competitive game mode in a specific title that comes out, I've always stated that it needs to be an esports title, that they need to really put emphasis on esports. And, that goes from, every game out there, that has competitive game modes. And Mortal Kombat obviously has an esports side, right? And it's done pretty well in the past. I've stated that a lot of times tournaments and such don't want to host Mortal Kombat because of how gory it is and such. And we've talked about that and how they can maybe, kind of tone down on the gore and such of Mortal Kombat for the esports side of things. But nonetheless, at number 4, I want there to be even more emphasis on esports because I think that Mortal Kombat is a very special title in the fighting scene. Sure, you've got Smash. Sure, you've got some of these other titles, guys, like Tekken and Street Fighter that do a really good job as far as from the esports perspective. But I think Mortal Kombat needs to coexist with esports, but I think it needs to be even bigger than some of these other titles out there in the fighting space. And I think it could absolutely be that. I just want to see more of an emphasis on the esports side because it really does help grow your scene in a major way. It continues that competitiveness that is the fighting scene. And I also think, guys, that it would continue helping the growth of the franchise and the fan base. Now, as far as the esports side goes, one way that they could definitely grow the esports side is, if all the different tournaments out there could be, would accept Mortal Kombat if they tone down on the gore and such. And I know a lot of you out there have stated that you don't like this concept of toning down on the gore in a video game because it kind of takes away from the actual experience. But at the end of the day, guys, when you think about it, more people are going to be able to watch Mortal Kombat if it's toned down on the gore and such. Pretty much everybody of all ages are able to watch it. The same thing kind of goes with Smash. You see Smash, and that's a game that is for everyone. Mortal Kombat, with deep under its roots, is obviously a very mature game for a mature audience. But if you make it seem, for the esports side at least, that it's a little bit more lighthearted, even though it's very violent, it doesn't have quite as much gore and such, I think they could do really well with that. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section down below about the emphasis of esports for Mortal Kombat 12. And coming in, guys, last but not least, at number 5, for me, Mortal Kombat has done such a good job over the years. They've had, peaks and valleys within the franchise. Some games are better than others in the franchise. It's like any franchise out there. It's like Call of Duty. Call of Duty has so many titles that have come out, and, some are really great. Others are not so good. So, there's peaks and valleys with any of these franchises, especially when you start getting up there with the number of titles that some of these franchises have. Mortal Kombat certainly is one of them. What I'd like to see, guys, is I want Mortal Kombat to do what they do best, but to keep evolving. I think it's something that's very important, especially for a fighting game. Think of it like this. You have a title, and say similar to like Madden or FIFA, where it's basically a copy and paste every year. Sure, they update the graphics slightly, they do little things here and there, but overall, it's a copy and paste. See, Mortal Kombat, guys, has this opportunity where it can be somewhat of a copy and paste because it's a fighting game, and there's only so much you can do with it. But at the same time, you can continue evolving it. You can continue evolving by, of course, the combos, of course, the characters, the different arenas, the extended campaign, the co-op modes, 2v2 fights, things of that nature to keep people coming back, to keep it fresh, where people aren't going back to the older Mortal Kombat games. They're playing the most recent up-to-date one because it's got the most content for people to absorb and take in. I think that's going to be really important here. Do what you do, Mortal Kombat, but keep evolving. Don't get complacent with just a copy and paste just to, make some quick money. More so, just keep evolving over time, adding things as you go. And I think Mortal Kombat could continue, climbing the ladder of one of the best, fighting games in the world. But with that, guys, those are the top 5 things that I want to see in Mortal Kombat 12. Let me know what you guys want to see in the game in the comment section down below. And for more Mortal Kombat 12 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. With Phase 5 concluding, and obviously, guys, more people than ever went for this recruitment challenge here in 2020, I want to talk about the Phase 5 challenge and what that could do now moving forward for Phase as an organization, as the community at large. We've talked about this, on and off on the YouTube channel, but I think it's really important that we talk about some of the ripple effects of Phase 5 and what this could, do for the future of, FaZe Clan and the community at large. So let's talk about it. So guys, obviously FaZe was known, back when trick shotting and sniping were a really big deal in the community for Call of Duty. They were very good at obviously the sniping and trick shotting in Call of Duty. And with Phase 5, that just got elevated because the entire community would go for Phase 5 and would try to, kind of give their shot or their best shot at joining the biggest, team in the world. And so with Phase 5 coming back here in 2020, number one, does that mean we'll get another FaZe Illcams? Because a lot of people thought that FaZe Illcams is done. It's not going to come back anymore. However, after seeing how many people are going for trick shots still and sniping feeds, of course, when it comes to just, as a whole for this Phase 5 recruitment challenge, mostly when I would go on the hashtag Phase 5 on YouTube in the search bar, as you're searching, you're seeing so many people going for trick shots, feeds, trick shots on Fortnite as well. So what this leads me to is, could we see a return to FaZe Illcams? And I think that there's a good chance. I mean, depending on who they're picking up, guys, obviously the 5 people that get picked up, I've stated I believe that they're going to have a variety of people here getting picked up. I believe they'll have a trick shotter, a sniper, a content creator, a streamer, and then maybe like a Fortnite player or something. Something like that would make sense to me, where there's a real emphasis. Maybe they'll do like an artist or a comedian or a musician or something as one of those. It's hard to say, but I just think that there is still going to be the roots of Phase 5 are being shown from this year's Phase 5. Even though it's for anyone and everyone, we're seeing mostly the people submitting, clips and such for Phase 5 are trick shotting and sniping in Call of Duty as well as Fortnite. And so I think the ripple effects of what Phase 5, how this is going to, turn out long term, is that there's going to be, obviously the community is going to be at an all-time high when it comes to trick shot and sniping moving into Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. But on top of that, I think that FaZe may very well start looking at, okay, the potential, even though they went to a personality-based format for their channel, they still very well may bring back FaZe Illcams and some of those sniping team tages and things of that nature that they used to do back in the day. And I think that it would absolutely be amazing because of the technology we have now with the editing tools and the, color corrections and, After Effects, all those different things. They can make some really incredible team tages and Illcams and such. I just think it could be absolutely incredible. Phase 5 has created, I believe, will create ripple effects throughout the entire Call of Duty community as well as the Fortnite community, because people are going to continue trick shotting now for the foreseeable future and sniping now for the foreseeable future because they believe they have a chance to get in FaZe, because FaZe may even pick up people after Phase 5 based upon trick shotting, sniping, and Call of Duty and stuff. So look, I think that Phase 5 is, has started something that is going to go on for the next, let's just say 3 to 5 years of trick shotting, sniping in the community. I think that the community is going to be at an all-time high when it comes to people trying to, get into FaZe based on trick shots and sniping feeds and such, and even content creation, depending on who they pick up to Phase 5, that's what it's all going to come down to. It comes down to that, guys. And so I'm very excited. I'm very, bullish now on the future of the community because of Phase 5 and what it's now done for everyone. That belief that you can make it into FaZe, even if you don't make it into FaZe based off the Phase 5 recruitment challenge, they're still maybe going to keep their eyes open. But let me know, guys, what do you all think? What do you think the ripple effects here of Phase 5 are going to be? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Phase 5 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. We've talked about Control, guys, this title from Remedy as just a very, psychological type of style game, and it was very unique, guys. I loved it. Overall, I thought it was a very interesting concept, and I thought they did a very good job, to say the least, with this title. And so obviously, everyone's been wondering, are they going to make a Control 2? And when is this game going to come out? And so what I want to talk about here in this segment of the show is about Control 2 and everything we know so far about this title. So let's get into it. So in an article, guys, written by Joshua Duckworth of Game Rant, a new job listing by Remedy Entertainment suggests a sequel to Control. Its latest action-adventure title may already be in the works. Right now, it seems safe to say that gamers and developers the world over are looking to the next-gen consoles and video games that'll release on them. One of those is Control developer Remedy Entertainment, which recently confirmed Jesse Faden was coming to the PS5 and Xbox Series X. That may not be all, though. A recent job listing by the development seems to suggest that more is in the works for Control, as the listing implies that a sequel is in the works. The Remedy Entertainment job listing is for a senior producer for a key role working on Remedy's Control franchise, who will be leading developers through project life cycles, plan and deliver upon project schedules, prioritize tasks, and facilitate assignments, among a variety of other responsibilities. It also seemingly points to next-gen standards, as the position also asks for someone aware of industry standards and help team members stay on par or ahead of them. So, Control 2, guys, very well may already be in the pre-production phase. Obviously, looking for a senior producer, that's telling you that, they're probably starting to ramp up, like they want to get into the production. I would say we're still probably a ways away from the title actually coming out and coming to fruition. But to say the least, guys, that sounds pretty much like a Control 2 is being confirmed at this point in time. Of course, there are other things that this could refer to than Control 2, but they don't seem as likely. As aforementioned, Control itself is coming to the PS5, and there's a DLC currently in development focused on the events of Alan Wake. This means that theoretically, this job posting could be for one of those projects, yet there's two big holes in that theory. First, it doesn't seem likely that the development of the DLC would require a senior producer or even the Control port for that matter. This all seems to indicate that this job listing is indeed for Control 2. Now, it's known that Remedy is working on a few games, including Crossfire X, a project simply known as Vanguard, an unannounced project, as well as the Control DLC. As such, if this is the case, it's worth wondering how these projects will unfold. But given its full plate and how that plate is likely soon to be cycled, Control 2 makes a lot of sense for the developer to pursue. So, okay, let's talk about it. Obviously, guys, this doesn't tell us, like, the world as far as, like, it doesn't tell us a release date. We can kind of speculate on that. Where they're going with the story, we can speculate on that as well. What I think that this really confirms, though, guys, is that they are working or will be working very soon on a Control 2. And that's a big deal because people have been wondering, the hype has been building around the possibility of a Control 2. Now, obviously, with Control coming over to Xbox Series X, there was a lot of backlash there because of the way that they were doing it, where with just backwards compatibility and things of that nature. But what I will say is this. Control 2 needs to happen. This is a title I think that's very unique. I want to see Remedy Entertainment actually just take their time with this title. They got Crossfire X that's coming out, which I'm really excited about that as well. That looks really good. They're working on a number of titles, which is great. And it's showing that their studio is actually growing with time as well. So when could we maybe see Control come out? I would say, guys, that we're probably going to hear more about it next year. So in 2021, I would say we could maybe even get a sneak peek or at least like a official confirmation through like a teaser trailer late in 2021, and I would say it probably comes out in 2022 or 2023. It just really depends on how far they are in development at this point. If you're picking up a senior producer right now, you're probably in that pre-production, potentially starting very early development. But I would say you're in that pre-production phase because they're kind of planning. They're probably storyboarding and getting all the different concepts down that they want, the script and things of that nature. So I would say we're probably a pretty long ways off from Control 2. I'm not sure how long it took them to make Control as a game, like just the first game, how many years it took. I would assume it probably took a while. So we may be waiting a while till Control 2 comes out. Where could they go with the story? Guys, there's a lot of directions I think that they could go in, but it'll be very interesting to say the least, guys. What do you all think about this? Do you guys think that this confirms that Control 2 is on the way, or do you think that this is more just, kind of just speculation and that, that it could be coming out, but they might just be working on other stuff, Alan Wake and, obviously Crossfire X. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Control content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. And if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. pace.